Two? Do do do. Hello, my name is Rebecca, and I'd like to welcome you all to the science discussion today about about space. So we're talking about the solar system. We're going to discuss observing the space and the history when astronomers back then would look up into the night sky and see stars. Later, these stars would be named planets, and they would be near the sun. I'm sorry, near the Earth. There's a lot out there. Before, Earth was thought to be the center of everything, and everything orbited around it. But as technology developed and things started to be more understood, a person named Nicholas Copernicus discovered that the sun was actually in the middle of the solar system and that everything rotated around that. So telescopes allowed for viewing outer space to be much easier and much clearer. It wasn't as vague anymore. And so they started studying more about the solar system and the planets all around the sun and how they move. So the solar system's pretty small compared to the Milky Way, which is very, very large. But all of this started long, 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 long ago when things were forming. There was nothing set and solid. It was all just gases moving around together. And they started slowly creating things. And then the gas slowly started to form into a dish-like thing with a center. As the temperature began to rise, things started to fit together. And solid structures began to form. And this is what would become the more solid planets. And all of it starts to connect and form and becomes the planets that are the solar system today. And so the sun is in the middle. It's very large and gives off a lot of light. So it also gives off gravity, which pulls and keeps all of the planets in a stable position as they rotate. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, and so on. And then there's Uranus and Saturn, and so on and so on. And then there's an outer layer. It's very, very cold. The temperature is very low because it's so far away. So, a planet's made of ice, named Pluto. Sorry, named Pluto. So as they orbit around in these different layers, so some of the planets have multiple moons that orbit around the individual planet. So we try to focus on why astronomers want to study the sky and space. They're similar. It's similar to lab. It's a similar system, and it shows how the sun is always studied because it's the closest to us. So scientists really want to understand Earth's history and how it was formed, how things started, but because things started to grow and change on Earth, things were covered over. However, in other planets, that's not the case. All of the situations, all of the history has been preserved on those planets. So we want to understand our planet, so we study other planets. We want to know how everything began, how it gradually changed, and maybe what will happen in the future. So long ago, we don't really know a lot about. For Mars, there might have been forests and everything like that. So that's why we are trying to touch down to get more information about Mars. Many telescopes can help, but sending a rocket will give a lot more developments and information about space for scientists. It's important to send a rocket because the atmosphere kind of blocks a lot of studying that can be done.